Hello, welcome to the Goddess Breath podcast. I'm Dr. Mari Castle, and I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining and listening in. Now, I just had my recent episode on the sacred and masculine and feminine balance within, and pertaining to my second book, Connecting the Masculine and Feminine Within, the Sacred Union. And I am going to talk with you today about just what that might show up like if we don't have that masculine and feminine energy balanced within. I spoke about pride and how that shows up for us differently, like externally, also internally. But today, I want to just see if I can tap into somewhere where you might relate to what I'm talking about. But first, I want to start with a breath and just a simple breath, right? Close your eyes if it feels comfortable. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Again, slow breath in through the nose. Fill your belly, then your ribs, then your chest. Exhale slowly. Let's do that again. Fill into the belly, expand into your rib cage, lift up into the heart space. Hold that and then exhale. Oh, even with a sigh is nice. Let's do that again. Two more times. Breath is so powerful. Breath is medicine. Bring it all the way to the top. Another little sip. Hold and exhale with big sigh. And one more time. Inhaling all the way up, all the way up. Another sip. Hold. And again, exhaling. We call that one the physiological sigh. It's such a great breath work practice at any time of any day. Can you feel a little shift and some difference in your overall being? So that's landing in your body, right? That's just getting connected, your breath and your body. I think that's so important for today's day and age, and that we're connecting with ourselves, coming back to ourselves, that we're tuning in. We're really trying to um, connect the mind, body, spirit, but particularly the breath and body is so important to have that interconnection. We don't have to breathe, but when we do consciously breathe, it can be super powerful and transformative. And then how often do we connect with our body, right? So intentionally bringing that connection together. So what I wanted to talk about today, and one of the things that I hear from a lot of people, and this pertains to what I'm sharing, the energies and balance, is that a lot of people are feeling a bit off. They're not sure what it's all about. They feel like they're doing things and what they're supposed to be doing, maybe even self-care practices, but still something's not quite coming together for them. And I'm just, I don't know, maybe you can relate. Maybe you have the same feelings. Maybe you understand it through feeling overwhelmed or anxious, and or just feeling tired, not being motivated, not feeling purpose or production or anything like that. There's a lot to it. There's a lot that can be underlining when you're not in balance. And what if it's just that you're just not in balance? I don't mean that you're broken. I mean like imbalanced inside. So as I said already, we carry these two energies, the masculine and feminine energies. We carry both. And I'm not talking about gender. I'm just talking about qualities of being. So what if The feminine, well, as we know, is the intuitive, creative, flowing, nurturing. We know the masculine as focused, action oriented, structured, grounded, uh, very driven. And when these energies are working together, they're in harmony. And then that's when we're working these together in ourselves, we feel centered. We feel more aligned, more clear, alive in our beingness. But then when we're out of sync, we could feel like that hamster wheel is happening in our head, or things are getting out of control, kind of spinning, or we might feel stuck. And that's, a lot of reasons could be behind that. There's a lot to that. It could be that you're not taking care of yourself, but you take care of everybody else, so you're constantly putting out energy. And that would be related to the overactive feminine, without having any kind of inner masculine support. And then maybe you're just too assertive, or you're always striving, you're always pushing, and yet you're not connected in your heart space. You're not connected here, giving yourself compassion, even, let alone other people, right? So that's masculine energy within. That's without the balance of having rest, or having time to just restore and to process. And then most of us were never taught to work with these energies, so that's the reality of it, right? That's the reality. We're taught to suppress, we're taught to control, or just to choose one way of doing things. We're not taught to bring a myriad of things together to create the sense of wholeness. But sacred balance isn't about choosing any which way. It's about honoring, remembering who you are beneath all the roles that you play. It's the wholeness of who we are. And when we look at myth, it shows up beautifully with the story of the goddess Inanna. So I shared that story with you in my last couple episodes. I'm going to give you, as we go along, more snippets of Inanna's myth, and that she was a powerful goddess, and that she too had to descend to the underworld to strip away all the outer layers so she could connect with her truth, with her shadow, and that these were the parts of herself then that she was able to integrate to feel more balanced, to become the queen of heaven and earth, and sit on the top pantheon of the Sumerian culture, and move forward with grace, and with being honored for her beautiful rendition of balance. And then we see it throughout the whole Sumerian culture. That's the beauty of what I love about my studies of the Sumerian culture, is that they represented so much harmony and balance, not just in their outer world, but within. They honored those aspects. And this return to balance is a journey that we're all invited into. So this is what I wanted to bring to offer to you today, and that I'm going to be continuing in each episode. The next episode, I'll talk specifically about how the sacred feminine can show up for you, and how to foster more of that if that's what you're lacking. And men and women. I'm not genderizing this. I am talking about in all of us. And asking yourselves these questions, to check in on your own landscape. Are you always giving but not ever receiving? And are you pushing forward a lot? Are you assertive? I'm guilty of this as well. Got to go, 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 do, but then never slowing down to really feel what you're experiencing, to acknowledge what you're processing, to recognize maybe you're a little overrun and need to take some time to slow down for yourself. And then also thinking about, you know, what are you craving? Are you craving a vacation? I hear this all the time. I just want to escape. I want to get away. Okay, that I get. But then how can you do that in your everyday, right? Because you can still do that, plan the trip and all of that. But I'm saying, how can we restore that craving of wanting to kind of be not an existence of all the chaos around you, with being able to just check in and create some space that is around softness for yourself, or maybe just more clarity, or maybe intuitive direction, right? So, nothing that we need to think of that we're doing is wrong. It's more just waking up to what's inside of you, what you can hear is actually inside of you, and then tapping into that, being open to tap into that. So, like I said, yeah, I'll be talking about the sacred feminine the next episode, then the following episode, the sacred masculine, and then the inner marriage of both and what that looks like. And I'm excited to offer this to you. Thank you again for joining. If you're interested in any of my courses that I have coming up, or my holotropic breathwork workshops, which, by the way, holotropic breathwork helps you have that balance of the inner feminine and masculine. I shared in the last episode, I had an experience. I'll share more about that as time goes on. My particular holotropic breathwork experience of marrying the masculine and feminine within. And yeah, until then, have a wonderful day. And again, just take a breath with me one more time. Deep breath, another little sip. Let it all go. Let out a sigh if that feels right for you. Thank you, my friend. Enjoy. Have a beautiful day.